notoriously punctual. Power and politics are and they also think have no faith in politics. Unfortunately, don't forget the other thing. But there are exceptions, sensible exceptions, right? In fact, that is an occupational hazard. We were dining with sir. Just within 1 or 2 minutes is coming, has already started. Just wait.
This is one of the very bright organizers.
How are you? I hope you're well. I hope your team is well. Ek minute. How are you, Aggarwala? ऐसा ऐसा भाई मत कोई गिर जाए आपने जब मैं जाऊंगा आपको मालूम हो जाएगा।
अच्छा, क्या आपकी कुछ शर्तें रहेंगी इस बारे में, आप महसूस करेंगे कि आपकी पार्टी नहीं होगी? कहाँ से आप आगे? तो आपके क्या मुद्दे क्या रहेंगे? मुद्दों पे आप अच्छा, दूसरी बात ये कि बुलेट लीडर्स अभी भी आज़ाद कश्मीर मूवमेंट को जारी रखते हैं और उन्होंने वो उसको बाकायदा और तेज करने जा रहे हैं, तो आपकी सरकार का स्टेटमेंट क्या होता है?
जब वो तेज करेंगे हम भी उस वक्त अपना रुख आपको बता दें। आज के ऊपर बताने की कोई जरूरत नहीं।
सर मेरा प्लीज
गुड टू सी यू। आदाब हुजूर, कैसे हैं जरा? हाउ यू?
यहाँ फारूक साहब
इधर देखो। आदाब हुजूर, कैसे हैं? आई डिडंट सी यू। हाउ यू? कैसे हो?
पब्लिक फेलिसिटेशन फंक्शन जो पीपल ऑफ जम्मू एंड
करण सिंह
डॉक्टर साहब इधर आइए ना। वहाँ पीछे क्या कर रहे हैं आप? They want to see you in front.
ऊपर जा रहा हूँ।
करण सिंह इस तरफ
बिल्कुल नहीं जा रहा, ऊपर जा रहा हूँ।
Come forward, you see. In politics, you have to be in front here. Come on, this side.
पीछे आओ।
आहिस्ता हम लोग भागने वालों में से आहिस्ता यही है।
नहीं अभी नहीं
आपके गले लग के पहले
प्लीज से यू हाउ कैन यू गो इनके साथ
इन्होंने जो इलेक्शन करवाया दोबारा गले लगा हमें मिला नहीं। आइए
नमस्कार बहुत से जवान इतने हम तो कारण वो नमस्कार इतने नमस्कार देने के लिए हाउ यू नमस्कार जनरल साहब। See, you block our views, we can't even see the people who have come. He's in couldn't get to Jammu, wasn't well. So I had to send someone else. आदाब मौका मिला ना आपसे बिस्मिल्लाह इंशाअल्लाह। Gentlemen, if you now give us a little space so that we can...
Thank you very much.
Thank you too much.
उधर रख दीजिए सर, डिस्टर्ब कर रहे
Allow us to start with the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a high honor and a singular privilege for me, a friend of Mr. Adish Aggarwala, to officiate at today's program. I'm going to start in a lighter vein. He gave me a very short notice, and I would like to define the word impromptu. When I was a very young boy, I used to wonder what this word impromptu means. And I stumbled on the meaning. It means you get very little notice about what is going to happen and your participation. And in literal terms, the word impromptu means you prompt in and in prompts you, and you get on with the word. Knowing Aggarwala, Adish, I have to warn you about some of the meetings that he conducts. You have to take a close look at how he organizes these meetings. There is a story that there was a man from Calcutta proceeding to Kanpur to attend a very, very big tender opening. And he was on the train, and he called the attendant, and he said, be sure to put me off in Kanpur, because it is of vital importance that I get off in Kanpur to attend this tender opening. And he tipped him 100 rupees and said, this should take care of you, and you be sure you put me off in Kanpur. The train went to Kanpur and went on to Delhi. And the man was livid. He hadn't been put off in Kanpur. And he went for the attendant. He punched him, and he pulled his hair, and he beat him up, and there was a lot of excitement. A lot of people gathered around and said, what's with this? Why is he so upset? They asked the attendant. He said, you don't know a thing. You should have seen how I was beaten up by the other man that I put off in Kanpur. So be sure, ladies and gentlemen, that you recognize the people of the day, and they are the real people that Adish says he will produce for you to meet this evening. I'm very happy to assure you that they are the real people today. We are going into a more serious vein now. I'm going to talk to you very briefly about some of the problems in this country. When I first came to Delhi, they told me that Delhi is not like Bombay. It is a very highly politicized city. And some of my closest acquaintances advised me that if you need a friend in Delhi, buy yourself a dog. He says the dog is man's best friend. And if you need a friend in Delhi, buy yourself a dog. This, I believe, is not so true now. And people are better and more friendly, as you can see in this room today. There's another problem. In Delhi, they have a fixed attitude towards life. And this would be called a paradigm. And what is required in human relations, in political affairs, and in every business of life is a paradigm shift to take care of situations as they arise. I'm going to tell you a very short but moving story. Those of us who have traveled abroad know that culture is very different abroad. In a public transport like a train, unlike in India, it is absolutely quiet. Nobody says a word. Nobody smiles at each other. There isn't even a sign of recognition. While here, there is arguments, chatting, all kinds of tomfoolery, playing of cards, and a general bonhomie. But abroad, there is a reserve that you cannot imagine if you haven't seen it. In the subway in New York, a man with 5 children boarded the train, and the man was very sad, and he put his palm on his forehead and bowed his head, and his children were playing, and they were wild. They were running all over the carriage, and they were knocking off people's books and newspapers. And one man got quite irritated, and he said, "Hey, this is not on. You're the father. Isn't there something you can do about this?" He said, "I really don't know what I can do about it. These are my children, and my wife, she died 1 hour ago, and I'm hardly able to adjust, but I wonder how they will adjust." The man who had upbraided him for the misbehavior of his children immediately had a change come over him, and he said, "What is there, sir, that I can do for you? Is there any way I can help you?" Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a paradigm shift. When you're on a train, you expect a certain type of behavior. Quietness, calmness, well-behaved parents. Nicer, a very, very famous corporation lawyer. Mr. Nicer is the kind of person that puts together mergers between giant corporations. He's one of the most astute, successful, powerful, and wealthy lawyers in the world. And Mr. Nicer has this story to say.